Evening, everybody. I call to order this regular meeting of the Elk Grove Park District. Today is April 8th, 2021. Kathy, can I have a roll call, please?
President O'Malley.
Here.
Commissioner Cook.
Here.
Commissioner Wells.
Here.
Commissioner Bianchi.
Here.
Commissioner Sauter.
Here.
As president of the Park Board, I make the following determination. It is neither practical nor prudent to permit the public to physically attend tonight's Park Board meeting for the reason that the continuing pandemic threatens the health and well-being of the public in all or part of the jurisdiction of the district, and because public participation, attendance at tonight's Park Board meeting is available via remote means through Google Meet, as allowed by this year's COVID-19 related amendments to the Open Meetings Act, and also due to the continuing restrictions on in-person gatherings imposed by the gubernatorial orders and health-related disaster declarations. For these reasons, I have also concluded that it is unfeasible to allow the public to physically attend this evening's Park Board meeting. Therefore, tonight's Park Board meeting is being held for the public by remote virtual means, and more specifically through the Google Meet platform, per the information set forth on the posted agenda for this meeting. Our first order of business is approval of minutes. Has everybody looked at the committee of the whole meeting of March 25th, 2021? I need a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Cook.
Yes.
Commissioner Wells.
Yes.
Commissioner Bianchi.
Yes.
Commissioner Sauter.
Yes.
President O'Malley.
Yes. I also need a motion to approve the March 25th, 2021 regular meeting.
So moved. Second.
Any comments or questions regarding that minutes?
Yeah, just general question order. Do you have to do the motion a second for each?
They'd prefer that I say yes. True, Kathy? Yes. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Wells.
Yes.
Commissioner Bianchi.
Yes.
Commissioner Sauter.
Yes.
Commissioner Cook.
Yes.
President O'Malley.
Yes. We are at public communication. Any comments from the audience at this time? Do any staff or commissioners have any correspondence they'd like to share with the public? Hearing none, we are at recommendations for acceptance of approval. We have 4 items. First one is an approval of pay request number 2 from Stuckey Construction Company of Waukegan, Illinois, retained as the original contract sum for work on the Pavilion and Lagoon Play Structure in the amount of $4,690. Need a motion?
So moved. Second.
Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bianchi.
Yes.
Commissioner Sauter.
Yes.
Commissioner Cook.
Yes.
Commissioner Wells.
Yes.
President O'Malley.
Yes. Next, I need a motion for acceptance of a bid from Troke McNeil Paving Company, Incorporated of Elk Grove Village, Illinois, for the complete resurfacing and color coating of the Rainbow Falls inline rink, the amount of $74,200.
So moved. Second.
Tim, do you want to talk about this a little bit? Because we are just not really doing a resurfacing of the Rainbow Falls. We're obviously doing more.
So the inline rink will be painted as 6 pickleball courts, which is much anticipated. It'll hopefully get a lot of use, but it'll still be able to be used as an inline rink. We'll be installing the pickleball nets and stanchions will be able to be moved. They won't be permanent structures, and then we are hoping to be able to use the rink as an ice rink, possibly this next winter.
Any questions or
Yeah,
comments?
so I got a couple questions on this. So,
Yep.
looking at the diagram that you sent us, it doesn't show any lines for inline hockey. So, are they can use it to set up nets, but it's not going to be markings? Or
I must have included an older version. We do have a rendering that includes the center line and goal lines for hockey that fit between the courts in it's either an orange or a red, so the contrast will be good enough to be used for hockey. So.
Okay, but is he going to throw out the pickleball player so they have those in there? Because there'll be some overlap, correct?
It'd be off the courts. No, it'd be off the courts. Yeah.
So none of the inline markings will be on the pickleball courts themselves?
Right.
Okay, could you send us a copy
Yeah,
or a
sure.
PDF on that? So it's just to be able to see that, okay. And
I would say it's minimal marking. It's not the full gamut for inline hockey.
Okay.
It's the bare minimum.
yeah, because this didn't show anything, so I just wanted to make sure. And then have we met or talked to the people that are involved in pickleball to go over this plan and make sure, see if they have any suggestions as far as
They are.
Color of the courts, does that make it, I know they're particular about something, so I don't know if the color of the courts matter, or how things are marked matters. You know, I know the net height is different than tennis, and so they want that at a particular level. But have we met with them to talk with the group to make sure that we're setting these up right, so they're gonna be, I call official courts, or?
After, I'll talk about it.
Yeah, sure. And I'm trying to remember his name, because he's a
Bernie.
Ernie. Bernie or Ernie?
Bernie.
So Bernie and I had talked a few times before we finalized this, and he's really excited. The courts, as long as they're designated, which they're going to be, and the nets are actually portable. They're heavy duty, you can't just pick them up and take them. But they're going to meet all the regulations that they need. And he's even gone as far as he wants to volunteer his time to do clinics and get leagues going. So we're going to, you know, I think I talked a little bit about Tiffany, about bringing him in as a sort of a liaison for the groups and get open pickleball going and possibly leagues.
So right now, the ones that we held in the gym last year and
We'll
stuff
still do
that
the
we
gym.
do, are those aren't organized through the park district as far as like,
Okay,
what? Are those organized through the park district? I mean, I'm not sure how
Yes.
they're stuff. So
It's
those
just
are
open
there,
pickleball.
it's just open pickleball, so
Yes.
a group of guys have to come and do it. It's not organized where we have a
Yeah.
program between,
Yeah.
They organize amongst themselves. Does that make sense?
and then we're just renting the space.
Yeah.
They're just buying
They pay a
gym.
fee.
Yeah, so they pay to come for open gym, and there's a couple group leaders, like Bernie, and then there's another individual, I can't remember her name. So these group leaders, they organize amongst themselves. They set the times they're gonna come and meet, they set who they're gonna play matches against.
Okay, so we're not actually setting this up as a partnership program where they can register online, pay a fee, and be part of a league.
yet.
Not yet.
But we're gonna try and do that, or work towards that, if it makes
Correct.
sense.
Not.
Okay, and then one last question. I know the pavement over there is quite slanted. Can you tell me what we're doing? Because at some points I noticed a foot difference from one end to the other. Is that gonna be level now,
Yes,
or?
well, not completely, they'll have a pitch, but it will be a lot less. Because you want the water to sheet off,
Oh, okay,
but you don't need it to pitch as much as it does now.
okay, so is it gonna be noticeable to the pickleball players with that?
No.
Okay, so I hate to build these things and have it
Well,
where
I'll use
the ball
example-
hits and it's like
I'll
flying.
use the example, tennis courts are pitched, you know, it'll be.
Well, I know what
So
your normal pitch versus,
You won't notice it.
So the thing with it's actually it's like a 1% pitch on it. It's so long that over the course of the whole thing, it ends up being like 2 feet of difference. But in reality, it's about 1%.
okay,
So you really don't feel it.
okay.
My only question is, how do we communicate during the two season? Who gets priority while inline has an active season, or they want it and it's nice enough weather where pickleball? So how do we communicate that this group goes first, this is secondary, but this time of the year, this one is first? What's gonna be our marketing and / communication?
We're gonna communicate with the groups, and we're actually gonna have posted hours, because these stanchions that Tim is talking about, people just can't move them on their own. So we're gonna have a park maintenance schedule as well, as far as when the pickleball courts are set up, and then when they're removed for inline hockey.
Okay. Anybody else? Kathy, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sauter,
yes.
Commissioner Cook,
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh,
Yes.
Commissioner Bianchi,
Yes.
President O'Malley.
Yes.
And I just have one more question, not pertaining to the vote, but what's the latest that we'll have lights on there at?
Village ordinance 11, but usually we turn lights off 10. But if we needed to, we can keep them open till 11.
Okay,
You know, we might play it by ear, but village ordinance is 11.
Okay, I need a motion to approve of pay request number 8 from Fred Quinn Corporation for construction management services for the Fox Run Golf Links Clubhouse and Maintenance Facility Project in the amount of $505,658.
So moved.
second?
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Cook,
Yes.
Commissioner Wells,
Yes.
Commissioner Bianchi,
Yes.
Commissioner Sauter,
Yes.
President O'Malley.
Yes. I need a motion to approve the 2020-2025 Comprehensive Master Plan.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Wells,
Yes.
Commissioner Bianchi,
Yes.
Commissioner Sauter,
Yes.
Commissioner Cook,
Yes.
President O'Malley.
Yes. We are at items for information. I'm going to start off with Tiffany Green, Leisure Services update, please.
Okay, we had a busy month in March. So Sheila Ray is now entering this month with 166 members. On average, they have about 145 members coming through the door each week. And this last month, we added back in Bunko and PAST, which is our Police and Seniors Together program. For adult athletics, adult registration for softball is open through April 23rd, with the games starting the first week in May. So get your teams registered. For aquatics programming, we ran a spring break aqua camp with 15 participants during the week of spring break. And then make sure you check out our popular Parents Night Out events. There's one for April 9th and May 7th. Audubon Skate Park had 136 reservations in March, even with that warm weather, with 16 private skateboarding lessons. Our private skate lessons are getting so popular that we've extended them through the end of May. Our indoor skate park will be closing for the season on April 11th. Our Ignite Dance Company will compete in 2 in-person competitions this weekend and the following weekend, one in Schaumburg, one in Rockford. So good luck to our dancers. Our spring recital, which is Broadway bound, will be June 1st through the 4th, and the new location is going to be Prairie Lakes Theater and Displays. For early childhood, they have a new class that they created called Off to School for 2-year-olds, so it's to prep them for the following preschool year. That class is full and it is running starting this April. Preschool staff are also gearing up for this next school year registration. We do have some virtual options available so you can get to know our preschool. The digital preschool catalog and virtual open house videos are now available on our website. For group fitness, the fitness team is really excited to introduce a new junior dance fitness class series. They're going to be introducing Zumba and mixed fit to our teens. We are also going to begin monthly workshops on foam rolling this month in April. The museum was really busy this last month, so Grace offered staff lunch tours of the farmhouse. So a lot of our full-time staff took advantage. They got to go over, they got to know Grace a little better. They got to see all the amazing things she's done at the museum. So she's also been working on the next exhibit. It's going to be titled The Schutte Homestead, New Life in Tragedy. That'll be opening in May, so I highly recommend that you sign up for your free tour. We also had a Schutte family wedding dress being restored, and it should be ready in mid-April and will be on display shortly after. The Pavilion Aquatic Center Lagoon and open private rental slots remain successful. Lagoon open swim time slots had 443 registrants, filling 92% of time slots in the month of March, and 19 private lagoon rentals filling 95% of available rental time slots. So a very successful March for the lagoon. For Pavilion Fitness Center, the 2021 Shamrock Shuffle concluded on March 30th. There were 34 new members and 9 cancellations for the month. Open gym has been very popular, and volleyball so much so that they will be adding additional open gym volleyball during the week. So check out the website and the new calendar for that. Jumps and Jiggles and Carousel officially reopened on Monday, April 5th. The drop-in hours are Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. At Rainbow Falls, we are in full swing with recruitment for the summer. Aquatics is hosting in-person, virtual, and group interviews if you're interested. So apply online today. Also, early bird rates for Rainbow Falls water park passes ended on April 1st, and there were 192 membership units sold during that early bird sale. Kids Club has relocated back to the schools. We are currently at Ridge and Claremont schools. We are busing kids from the other 3 locations to Claremont and Ridge. We had 337 registrations in March. We are still hosting our Wednesday Kids Club camp at the Pavilion, and we had 116 registrations in March. Special events were huge in the month of March. We had 4 district Easter events that sold out: Egg Hunt at Home and Swim with the Bunny on March 20th, and then photos with the Easter Bunny and Egg Hunt at the Pavilion on March 27th. The Doggy Egg Hunt was on March 28th, and it filled 27 out of the 30 doggy registration spots, so also very popular. Seussical the Musical will be performing at Prairie Lakes Theater next weekend, April 16th through the 18th, with shows on Friday at 7:30, Saturday at 2:30 and 6:30, and Sunday at 2:30. Tickets are available for purchase online or at the Pavilion customer service desk. Advance tickets are $10, and those advance ticket sales close at noon on the 15th. Or you can also buy tickets at the door, cash only, for $12. For our youth athletic leagues, travel and house soccer and travel baseball have started their outdoor practices. House baseball and softball start April 10th. For soccer, there are 91 travel registrations and 130 house registrations. There are 199 registrations for softball and 220 for house baseball. Registration is currently open for football and cheer, and they are all set to kick off their season this summer, so get registered today. And that concludes my report.
I have some questions.
Go, Robert.
There you go. So I've had residents ask me, regarding COVID, limiting capacity at Rainbow Falls. Has the staff worked on a policy? Are they going to, is it going to be residents? Are they going to allow non-residents in? And do we know what the guidance is currently for swimming pools?
So we are going to follow all current guidelines. So I can't really give you an exact answer. Right now we would be allowed to be at 50% capacity, which would be approximately 600 people in the park at a time.
So with that being said, let's say it's a very hot, warm day. Are residents going to get a priority to the facility?
If residents want priority, then they should get a Rainbow Falls membership, because then we allow them access early. But also with that, just come early. Come for that early time period where you can enter before everyone else. But we're not going to be able to control that throughout the day.
Elkwood residents get to go an hour early.
No, and I know that, and most of them, most of the people that have the passes do know that, but it does become an issue every year with the issue between non-residents and residents, people who have passes and people who don't have passes, and then now add in the COVID situation. So there are residents that are just would like to have a little clear understanding of what the policy of the park is going to be for when it opens and the weather does.
Right. So we definitely want to service our resident customers. We are adding a unique feature this summer, so we're going to have a density counter, and then people are going to be able to access that on our website, and it's also going to be on a big TV display before they, when they pull into the park. So they're going to kind of see where we're at on capacity. They can check before they even leave their house to make sure, that they don't drive there and then we're at capacity. We're also going to use a new app called Waitlist Now. So if a person does have to wait, they can wait in their car where it's nice and cool instead of having to stand up at the door. And then when their spots become available, they'll get a text message and they'll be able to go up and enter the park.
We're going to communicate this to, great, okay. And then I have additional questions. So the fields, now that the baseball for travel and house baseball, they can start practicing, I understand that some fields are not done yet. Do we have a date of when all the fields will be available?
So field work was gonna start today on some of those fields, but due to rain, it's been delayed. So that is being worked on tomorrow.
So we have a time, like a week, next week the field should be ready, or 2 weeks?
Tomorrow, I think there's 6 fields they've requested, but as of this week, those will be hit, and then next week we'll start our normal routine of once a week hitting all the fields. And just so the public, should hear this too, is, we have soccer as well, who are starting games this weekend. So, Joe's crew has to balance the immediate need for games versus practices, and you know, it's always in the spring, we have this mad rush, right? And the weather has been so good, which is fantastic. So Joe and his crews are doing as best they can. But that's.
And football.
And football, yes, we also had football this spring, which is new, so.
So my next question is lights. So every year, you know, we always have the lights aren't on, I get the phone call, you get the phone call,
I'm
something.
usually turning them off from the couch at my house.
So what are we gonna do?
Well, so I would encourage baseball, and Brian is our athletic manager, to work on the schedule. If the schedule changes, just update it as we go, because we can block out times for the lights. You don't have to be perfect, but he just needs to know that there's games that night, which I think, my understanding is they always provide a schedule. We just, if something changes though, I think that's when maybe the communication needs to just be, make sure it gets to Brian so we can update the schedule.
So we're not talking just games, but we're also talking practices as well.
Same thing.
Okay.
Because you could predetermine in the Musco lighting system, and you can block out times. And so if the schedule doesn't have anybody, then we won't turn the lights on. So.
Okay, thank you. That's it.
I had one question regarding Rainbow Falls, and it's more philosophical for even the board to consider on trying to be prudent with the dollars. And I guess my only question is, at what point do we keep the pool open when we only can have 50% in there, when the temperatures are in that 75 to 80 range, where you're not going to get that overwhelming demand? Because one of the things I can't do is have the entire park district losing money when I've got to only have, when I might only have 200 people in there, yet I need 100 lifeguards. It becomes fiscally responsible when I'm getting 1,000 people in there and we're turning a profit. Not that it has to be about a profit, but at the same time, we might have to adjust our hours or what staff's thinking about what we're going to do when we might only have 200 people in there. I can't be losing $400,000 a year.
So typically, I can't remember, I think it's 68 degrees. We don't open the pool. Usually you'll get those in the beginning of the year. You know, we can always pivot if we, you know, I'm going to be optimistic. I think by June, Memorial Day, we're going to be open. It won't be without restrictions. Having said that, if we're not, I think at some point in the summer we will be. And it's not, you know, just because you only can have 600 people at one time, the people don't stay the whole day. So, you know, I'll throw out numbers like 700, 800 throughout the day is good. But I think we'll do better than that because I think people want to do things. Just with the athletics, people are itching to get outside. They're tired of being inside. So I'm optimistic. But Bill, we'll talk to you guys if I have concerns about the, you know, the numbers and where we're at. So we're going to be able to monitor with this new system that's going to tell us exactly how many people are in there at every minute. So we'll know, and we can, if we have to pivot, we'll look at that.
Fair enough.
Sense.
If we go reduced hours there, I can see already residents who have passes could be, you know, sending communication.
And I wouldn't recommend anything right now.
Right. It's just talk. It's just right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm being optimistic. I think we'll by June 1st, we'll be, I keep saying we'll be open.
But
No restrictions.
if something would happen, would the staff come up with a plan somehow so that residents who have passes, so they don't feel that they're getting, you know, they're not getting their full value, I
And
guess.
I'll just keep reiterating, residents have the advantage because we let them in an hour early every day.
I guess I will weigh in on this because maybe we should look as a board and just talk about it. Like, what does the board think? Like, is that hour enough after what we've come through? That's my only suggestion.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for a policy change, but this is a very unique year, and if we do open up, you know, I'm a firm believer as well. Like, the residents really should get, in my opinion, more than just an hour head start.
Okay.
But
It's something to consider.
you'll notice like some commissioners, you know, there's different views, so I think on this topic, maybe we can.
And I'll throw that out, that's easy for us to do that because typically our non-resident are daily passes, right? So that's just adjusting the time they can come in. That's not a big deal for us to do that. So that's something to consider, you guys, for sure.
You know basically what the balance of number of residents versus non-residents? generally?
I'm looking at the number guy.
I have it, I did analysis on it, and it's more non-resident than resident. And then the big factor also is the non-resident fee is significantly higher than the resident fee, so by allowing more residents and non-residents, obviously that benefits the residents, but it also hurts the residents because the non-residents supplement that fee for them to keep that cost down for them.
Yeah, and that was my concern, is making it so, because it's the same thing with Pirates Cove.
Well, Pirates go back and that's 90% non-resident.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's weighted more than that.
Right, so
So-
Rainbow Falls is not that high.
No,
but
Rainbow
Right,
Falls-
but if you make a policy where you're basically gonna tell non-residents to go pound sand.
Well, I think if you said, even if you said residents can get in anywhere from, let's just, I think it's 11, right, 11?
Yeah.
It's 30 minutes prior to the park.
Okay, it's 30, so if we did 11 to 12, or you did 11 even to 12:30, that's not, I don't think that's gonna significantly affect non-resident.
That's fine, that would be. my
Yeah, so that's what we
concern.
can, yeah, I mean, like I
If you
said,
started getting, and you could pivot there
it's
too.
easy for us to pivot on that, something like that.
I think you're I don't think people are gonna stay as long either.
I don't think so
With
either.
half capacity, you're gonna have less lines, you're gonna be flying through amenities a lot faster, and I think you'll.
Kids could get bored quicker.
Yeah. I mean, there's only so many times you go down the slide, even for kids, before it gets old.
Depends on what sugar they got.
Yes.
So, the perception is many years they feel some residents feel that that we want more non-residents come in because they pay the higher prices and most of the residents already paid their passes and all that. So,
Well, there is truth to that, though.
right.
There has to be, right? I'm just saying, on my
Well,
side of
I'd
things-
weigh it more towards residents too, I'm just saying, don't make it so onerous for the non-residents.
No, yeah, but just hearing from what I heard tonight, we probably should discuss it,
Yeah.
once we get closer to that opening date. Do we want to make a change, or do we want to keep standard what we're doing?
There you go, Scott.
Thanks. Anyway,
I agree. All right, any other questions regarding leisure services? All right, Parks and Planning update. Tim White, please.
So we had our first public meeting for feedback on the JC Park playground renovation that we went over at the last committee of the whole. We didn't have a huge amount of participants. We had like 4 or 5 families, but we got good feedback from the people that did attend, very positive feedback. Kids are very excited. So the next meeting will be in person, weather permitting, at JC Park on Wednesday at 1:30. So looking forward to that. Hopefully some more people come out and give us some good feedback. We will be receiving the first batch of the new Perry-weather lightning detection units end of next week. So we've got some marketing stuff to finalize as far as how we're going to notify residents and installation details, but installation could start as early as not the end of next week, but the beginning of the following week, around, like it's the 15th, week of the 15th. Ridge Playground, so the installation at the Ridge School Playground is going really well, going pretty quickly. Again, the school is excited about that. They've been looking out the window on the days that they're virtual, and they're excited about the new playground, so it's good, positive. And I say the CAF ADA ramp installation will start next Tuesday, weather permitting. Hopefully it's a little drier so that CAF ADA ramp that will come off the corner of the building there with the railings to match the building, and it's going to look really nice and it'll be a lot easier to access those fields. And then my last item is that the grounds department, both facilities and grounds departments, are hiring part-time positions and seasonal positions, so part-time year-round positions and seasonal positions. And the greatest need for us right now in the Parks and Planning Department would be in athletics. So if you have anybody that you know that's looking for either a part-time year-round job maintaining athletic fields and dragging fields and mowing grass and stuff like that, or any grounds work in general, please encourage them to visit the website and apply. we could use the help. So it's a fun place to work. It's nice to get outdoors and good people. So like I said, if you've got neighbors, friends, cousins, kids, grandkids, please send them our way. So that's all I got for you guys this week.
I just had one question. There's an individual in town that, I think he's working with the Andrea, but it's in the Parks and Planning Department where he's trying to get a memorial bench or a tree at Appleseed. What's the latest? Do you get involved with that, or do you push it down to your staff to make sure that the tree, you know, it blends in with the other trees, you know, or we have a park bench in the right area, yes, we can do this. How do you get involved, or do you delegate it down to your staff?
So we've received a higher than usual number of requests for memorial trees and benches this year. The Park District currently does not have any kind of memorial tree program or formal procedure. We may accommodate requests that come in, and we'll do our best to accommodate requests that come in that are feasible and work with them on an individual basis. So the people that I've been in contact with, I'm not going to say names or anything, but
Right.
I have been responding to the individuals that have reached out for those requests.
Okay, then I can talk to you off air, because at the same time, they reach out sometimes to us, and then I'm caught in limbo, assuming that we are corresponding with them, and that's what I have to make sure is happening.
So having a formal memorial tree program can get very cumbersome very quickly, and so like I said, we're willing to accommodate some requests as they come in, but at this time we're not. As far as if trees don't make it or plaques get damaged, and the recording alone, it's over time it can become extremely cumbersome.
And we are aware of that, because either the old executive director, either Brotman or Busby, did bring it to the board, and we started to look at a program when the lady wanted a plaque over off of Brantwood and stuff like that. And then we started figuring out all the protocol that's necessary, and then how do you not discriminate, and does money talk? So I think we just abandoned it at that point and kind of put it back in staff's hands. And instead of having a formal process, keep it informal, where there was an appeals process to come to us or something like that.
I know the foundation was looking at a possible program that been using for the trees that we do plant, like on Arbor Day. There's like, I forget how many, the number that we plant each year, but to maybe make it, somebody could donate money to the foundation, and we do a ceremony when they do the tree planting at the same coordination. We wouldn't have a plaque because we don't have to worry about the maintenance of it. We give them a certificate, and they can have a ceremony there at the planting, and we could schedule something like that. So we're looking at that. I don't know where we're at with that yet, but I know they're talking about that. And also the other possible option is, I believe the foundation, you can get a leaf on the tree in the pavilion with your name on there if you want to do a dedication or to somebody there. It's like a couple $100. $200? Okay, I got my partner over there. $200 for that, so that's another option.
Okay. All right, I was just making sure that who would I talk to, or who would a commissioner talk to make sure that.
We can talk after, sure.
Okay. Any other questions for Tim? Thanks, Tim. Business services update, Brad Scholes, please.
Thank you. I'd like to piggyback off of Tim's statement. Yes, there are a lot of jobs right now at the Park District, part-time, seasonal, full-time. I know the golf course is also looking for positions to fill. So if you are looking to put some extra money in your pocket, or if you're a patron of the Park District, we just updated our usage benefits to make them really attractive to part-time employees. So please visit our website. I'm sure there's a job, lifeguards, a lot of the, you heard Tiffany's report, a lot of the facilities are going to be opening up this summer, so there's a lot of need for employment. So please visit our website and apply online. IT just completed our access control. I think tomorrow they're putting the finishing touches on, so we're very excited about that. The golf course is open. The course is in really, really good shape. Jeremy's doing an amazing job. I'm sure a lot of the patrons out there, I'm sure they're watching us right now at the clubhouse, and they can attest to that. It's in great shape, especially for April. Driving range is open as well. Obviously this time of year, weather dependent. So if it's iffy weather, probably call ahead or call the clubhouse to confirm that it is open. And that concludes my report.
Any questions? Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.
Marketing and communications update, Kelly Carbon, please. What's up, Kelly?
Well, if I remember correctly, I believe that at Fox Run we have a tree celebration program. So if anybody wanted to do a memorial tree, there is something available through Fox Run and they could contact Fox Run for that.
Okay.
But in regard to registration, since I oversee customer service as well, we are anticipating a very fun and active summer. So we've been very busy at customer service registration desks. Camp has been in full swing since April 5th with registrations, and about a third of those are coming in person, and 2/3 are actually registering online. So we have a lot of people that have gotten very comfortable over the pandemic doing a lot of registrations online, so it's been great. At the pavilion, we're available to service people Monday through Friday from 9 to 6. We've set those hours. And Saturdays, we are in full operation from 9 to 1. So if you can't get over during the week, please come by on the weekends and we're more than happy to assist you. Or you can call us and we can walk you through the process over the phone as well. We will have some printed copies of the camp brochure. We've got it online right now. And we will have it actually available in print for pickup at Hattendorf or the pavilion on April the 19th. But in the meantime, you can go to the website, elkgroveparks.org, to get the information and the details about camp. We kind of prolonged the printing of it just because we wanted to make sure everything was exactly accurate after the registration process, began. And there have been some tweaks and changes to that. So we wanted to make sure that we were printing the most accurate copy. So that's why, it's going to be available. So if people do want to see it in print, it will be available the 19th. We have actually been working very closely with a lot of our coordinators on some of our digital productions. We helped out by posting the open house video, which I actually watched today for the preschool, and it's on the website, on the preschool page, and it's really good, and it gives as Tiffany mentioned, it gives a really great indication of what you can expect at the open house for preschool. But we also went over and we videotaped some of our lifeguards, and they gave us some testimonials about their experience here at the Park District being a lifeguard and what it's done for them. And so we're going to be utilizing those digitals on social media and on the website, and it's going to be posted within the next week or two. So it's definitely something to take a look at. Another thing that you'll notice that's new in the pavilion outside of Jumps and Jiggles, we have the density scanners. I know that they mentioned that they're going to have that for Rainbow Falls, but we currently have it for Jumps and Jiggles. So if it's just really the television monitor and it's green if you can go in, red if it's maximum capacity. So it's also posted on the website too. So if you're at home and you're not sure, is it going to be busy, is it not going to be busy, you can go on the Jumps and Jiggles website and see, what our activity is at any given time, how many people are actually in Jumps and Jiggles. Switching gears a little bit, we are working very hard on sponsorships and advertising, and so we've got the Play Picnic Party event coming up in July, and already we've got 3 great sponsors. We've got Village Realty, Indigo, and Amita. So if there is somebody out there that has a local business or a business in the area that would benefit from being a part of the Play Picnic Party event as a sponsor, we do have a few spots left for some of our sponsor tents. And the brochure, the summer brochure, is going to be delivered on May 10th. We'll be going to print around April 17th. So if there is going to be some discussion or some decisions based on, our timing with residents, non-residents, with Rainbow Falls, it would certainly be something that we would want to include in the summer brochure. So just wanted to make that notation. And then lastly, with our parks and ball fields, we're putting up some new signage just to just explain a little bit about the newest health and safety practices, and also the the new lightning detection system. So if you're out there at the ball fields, you will see some new signage going out at all of our fields and facilities. So, any questions?
Are all the amenities open for rental now? Are
The
all
fields, the outdoor?
No, they're like, in like, inside stuff.
Carousel.
Yeah.
Carousel, everything.
Yeah,
So, okay, we're back to the full capacity, or not
not full
capacity,
capacity,
but,
but,
full, I meant full operational.
Yes.
yep.
Thank you.
Did you bring back your full team of customer service over at the Sheila Ray? You always had so many employees there. Have you felt the need to bring everybody back there, or you have limited staff since the numbers are down there also?
Not yet. We used to have 2 people at all times. Right now we've got 1, and then we float like on busy days when there's bingo or when there's a lot of activity with our seniors. We'll try to post another person there for a couple hours. I've gone over, Lee's gone over, but we try to monitor the traffic flow of the facility, engage that based on, our scheduling, but we don't have 2 people there now at all times, no.
Okay, makes
So,
sense.
yeah.
Any other questions, comments? Thank you. Dun, 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 dun. Executive Director update. Ben Curcio, please.
My staff does such a good job in giving updates, it becomes increasingly difficult to talk about things, but I do have one important thing, a public service announcement. For any Elk Grove resident, 16 and older, starting next week, we're having another vaccine clinic on April 14th. The village is taking calls now, so you can schedule your appointments. The number is 847-357-4275. It's the Pfizer vaccine, so it does require a second dose, which will be May 5th, about 3 weeks after. And it's all held at the pavilion. It's very well run. You'll get in and out of there in, I would say, less than 20 minutes. So it's been very successful, and I encourage anyone that would, 16 and older, Elk Grove resident that would like to get a vaccine to come and sign up and come to the pavilion. I start next week. Concludes my report.
Something in regards to what you said with the COVID shots, Cooperstown just released their updates, and they're requiring 12 and older to get the vaccination, which I find to be because we're only doing 16 and older in the state of Illinois.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe New York's doing 12 and older, I don't know. But.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting.
Any questions for Ben?
I was just gonna say, I think it's great that the village is having this program. I know a lot of people that live in other towns that have had trouble finding places to go or have to drive an hour and a half away, so it's really nice. Kind of a unique thing that we have in Elk Grove here, and hats off to the trustees for organizing it, and I'm glad that we're involved with letting them use our facilities to have it, so great benefit to the Elk Grove residents.
Yeah, and I will say one person that participated also as an observer. We had a lot of seniors. Obviously, the last one was for 65 and older, but it was just nice to see residents in our facilities, and it was just a well-run. The whole operation was very well run, and it was very smooth.
Thank you. Old business. Do any commissioners or staff have any old business to share? The only thing I'll mention is at the pavilion, I did run into the mayor and Kitty Weiner, and they did get a replacement in the concert series. So I can tell you off air, but they're going to make the announcement next week at their board meeting. But they do have the 4th band all lined up. New business. Any commissioners or staff have any new business they'd like to discuss? Hearing none, we're at payment of the bills. I've got 2 dates, March 25th, 2021, in the amount of $283,027.92. April 1st, 2021, in the amount of $62,683.47.
So moved.
Second?
Does anybody have any questions or comments regarding these 2 sets of bills? Hearing none, Kathy, roll call, please.
Commissioner Bianchi?
Yes.
Commissioner Sauer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Walls?
Yes?
President O'Malley?
Yes. Our next meeting date is April 22nd, 2021. It'll be 7 o'clock right here again. I need a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Sauer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Walls?
Yes?
Commissioner Bianchi?
Yes.
President O'Malley?
Yes. Thank you, everybody. This meeting is now adjourned.
Hey, Brad.